guys, it's Andrea from Tickle Peach. So I promised you guys I was going to do a video tutorial on the technique that I do to curl my hair. The last time we talked about this was in my post a couple of weeks ago about the secret to lasting curl and the products that you could use to achieve a 2 or 3 day curl when you curl your hair. So I've used everything that I mentioned in that product. The one thing that I did change was after I got out of the shower, I used this It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In Plus Keratin. It's a sample that I got from Ulta with my purchase, and I used a clarifying shampoo on my hair today, so it was super tangled. So I did spray this all over and then comb my hair out. So I'll let you know what I think about this. But I used the Kerastase is how I think you say it, Elixir Ultimate, whatever, Oleo Complex. Look at the blog post. It links to everything, which I will link to in the down bar. But I used 1 pump of this on the very ends of my hair as a heat protectant. The It's a 10 also acts as a heat protectant. I put a golf ball sized amount of the Blow Pro mousse through my hair. That is what gives your hair grab and texture, I think, and makes the curls really last. And lastly, I also use the It's a 10 Miracle Blow Dry Volumizer on my roots for a little bit extra lift. So, excuse me, I am using the Pro Beauty Tools 1-inch curling iron, which I purchased from Walmart. I believe when I looked at it online it was $15. So definitely check that out. That's a very affordable. I am using this heat setting right here. I'm 2 down from high. I have very thick and very coarse hair, so I can use a higher heat than some other people could. The general rule, I think, is the finer your hair, the lower the heat that you want to use. Keep in mind as well, if you want a more relaxed, loose curl, you can turn the heat down and it won't be as intense. But keep your heat settings in mind when you're thinking about it of course could damage your hair. I also have a comb that I'm going to use, and I have clips that I've sectioned my hair out. So those are the tools that you will need. I talked in my post about how I don't think you should double process, meaning I don't think you should use a blow dryer on your hair and then turn around and use a curling iron. It's a little bit too much heat, I think. I broke that rule today. It's my husband and I. It's our 11th anniversary, so we're going out tonight, and I washed my hair today a little bit ago, so it was not completely dry. I blow dried it for about 5 minutes, and now I'm curling it. So I've already curled the bottom layer just to make this video a little bit faster, and now I am going to work on the second layer. So when I take it out of the clip, I just kind of comb it through to get any tangles. Jason. And you can see what I'm working with here. Since I did blow dry a little bit, that's cut down a little bit on the frizz and the curl, but I still have very big, very curly hair, and the heat of the blow dryer is going to kind of smooth that out. So if you have some texture that you're working it with, like frizz or wave or curl, don't worry about blow drying it or straightening it before you curl. So you want to grab a little bit of a section of hair. You don't want to go too wide, because then it'll slip out of the curling iron. But comb it out. It's actually a little bit big, so I'm going to take a little bit out. This is what I'm going to be working with. Probably, maybe like 1 inch. And I'm going to take my curling iron. I'm going to start at the very top of your hair. We're not doing the old method where we stop at the bottom and we roll up. We're going to start at the very top. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to kind of hold this, and I'm going to pull down a little, and then I'm going to roll. Pull down, and that smooths your hair out. Now I'm going to leave it here for a second, and then I'm going to go down a little bit further and roll back up. Again, go down a little bit further. Depending on how smooth the barrel of your curling iron is, sometimes you can just pull, sometimes you have to release the barrel. So, and then I'm going to go all the way down and just hold it for a second. I think one of the tricks is how you release the curling iron too. You want to kind of make sure it's pointing up and down and pull out. And see, that's what the curl looks like when you come out. And again, I'm going to take a little strip of hair and comb it out. Start at the very top, pull down, wrap around, pull down some more, wrap around. See, this time I'm going to use the barrel. Pull down a little bit more, go up, then go down to the bottom and go back up. If you want more of a kind of beachy, kind of kinky look, you can kind of leave that last little inch of your hair out, and that'll give you kind of a different look to play with. So I can't take credit for this. When I first started growing out my hair, I watched a lot of YouTube videos because I felt like I was all thumbs and my hair just never looked the way that I wanted it to when I curled it. So I watched tons and tons and tons of YouTube videos, and I finally stumbled across a few that actually kind of guided through my head what I needed to be doing. And two of my Twitter friends, Amy and Lindsay, did a video called the curl down method, which was how they curled their hair, and that's kind of what I'm working with right now. So one thing to remember, when you're on this side of the left side, you want to curl away from your face. And you're going to have to change your method when you move to this side. You're going to have to go that way. You don't want to curl towards your face. That's a little bit 70s Farrah Fawcett to do that. So you want to kind of curl away. This is a little bit bigger strip of hair, so again, I'm going to kind of pull it. Now, don't worry so much about that very bottom layer of your hair because nobody's going to see it. You just kind of want to get a bend in it. And, you know, you can vary how you do this. You can use a bigger barrel curling iron. You can use a smaller barrel curling iron. You can use a lower heat setting. All those are going to depend on, you know, how tight your curl is or how big your curl is. So, you know, once you get the basic technique down, you can kind of experiment to get it exactly the way that you want it. I think I mentioned how important products are in this whole process. I don't necessarily think the technique I use is what makes me be able to have the curl last so long. I think it's the products that I use, especially for curly hair girl, or not curly hair girls, excuse me. For fine haired girls, you need to give your hair some texture and some grab and something for it to work with. That's why I mentioned in my blog post that it's better for fine hair girls maybe to wait to the second day. Okay, so, and one thing that was challenging for me at first is I kept picking up sections that I had already curled, which, you know, just adds damage to your hair. So just be, you know, kind of aware. Actually, I'm going to start from the back on this side. Yeah, so the back is a little challenging, but once your hair starts to get a little bit longer, you can kind of, it's a little bit easier, I think, to kind of see what you're working with. Yeah. So now I'm going to curl it going the other direction. So just backwards. Excuse me. Baby, go in your room. I'll be in there in a minute.
Mom, I want to take a video.
Alright, well just say hello and then go in your room. Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, go in your room. Okay. And then now I'm just going to work my way forward. I think the stars, going back to talking about product, I think the most important products that you will use, number one is a heat protectant. So you definitely want to make sure that you're putting something on your hair to protect it from heat damage. And that can be a spray. I've used Treseme's heat protectant spray before, and that is nice. I'm using an oil right now, which is that Kerastase. Is that how you say it? I'm not sure. But I mentioned in my blog post I didn't love that product, but that I was going to continue to use it because I bought it and I paid for it. One thing that I do really like is the Moroccan oil. And you can get that in a light version. So if your hair is a little bit finer, you can get the light version and it's not as heavy on your hair. Okay. Yes, so see, I'm finding little pieces that I missed, so. Okay. Yeah, so just make sure that you're getting all the different pieces of your hair. And once you're completely done, it's easy to see if you've missed any pieces, and you can go back and grab them if you did. I feel like I'm getting a little bit off track in this video. I keep jumping subjects, but I think an important product is a heat protectant. I think the other product that you really want to make sure you're using is the mousse. I have had the best results with mousse. And I mentioned what I'm using right now is the Blow Pro line, but I mean, I'm sure there are drugstore mousses that work just as well. So probably when I run out of the Blow Pro, I'll try a different kind and let you guys know how that works out for me. And then the last thing that I think is super important is, again, what I mentioned in my blog post, and that is the pomade mixed with a little bit of the shine serum. I think that's a really good step, along with finishing with a little bit of light hold hairspray, which we will cover in a little bit. Now, I don't curl my hair that often because, see, my hair was getting a little bit caught. I don't curl my hair often because it is damaging and it takes a long time. I have a lot of hair. So this isn't something that I do every single day. I just do it, maybe I'll do it on a church day that we're going to church. Maybe I'll do it when I go out with my girlfriends. Maybe I'll do it on a date night, but it isn't something that I do super regularly. And again, techniques can differ. This is just what I do. I know, like when I get my hair done and my hairdresser, Kessler, curls my hair, her curls look completely different than my curls, and I can never do at home what she does. She does more of what I like to think of as the Hollywood curl. When I see it, it's like what I think, like, you know, celebrities, how they curl their hair, where it's just kind of like perfectly curved away from your face. That's what I think of whenever she does my hair. And one thing that I did, I have to give her credit for. One thing, she's the one that taught me the don't straighten your hair before you curl it. In other words, don't, you know, straighten your hair with a straightener and then go curl it and expect it to last forever, you know, last or curl as well. And another thing that she told me last time I was there was that damaged hair tends to hold curl better, which I color my hair, so it's a little bit damaged. Now I am spraying with a light hold hairspray, and the spray I'm using is the Blow Pro Blowout Spray. Another one that I really like is the L'Oreal Elnet, I think it's called. I do love the Freeze It, which is super cheap at Walmart, but it's a little bit too heavy, I think, for you to be able to run your fingers through your hair. So those are some options. I also spray with a little bit of the Moroccan Oil Glimmer Shine, and that just gives a little bit of a shine to your hair. But do keep in mind that that is an oil, so if you use too much, it's going to make your hair look oily. So here's a little bit of the challenging part, I think, when you start to get to the top of your hair. And I'm not a pro at this part. I usually end up pulling my bangs back when I do curl my hair because I don't super love how it looks. But again, so I'm gonna start at the top, curl around, go down a little bit and curl up, release the barrel to the end, go back up, and I have a little bit left. Now, one thing I think is helpful is while your hair is still on the curling iron, pick up your next section. and then comb through. One thing you can do if you want a bit of a looser curl is instead of, see, I start really close to my scalp, and you could just, you know, go down before you start, and that'll give you a little bit of a different look too. I never claimed to be a hairdresser, so this video is probably funny to people that are hairdressers, but I'm sure that you guys can do a much better job at explaining this. See, and I didn't comb through my hair very well, so I'm gonna have to come back to that one. That one kind of got caught on a tangle, so it didn't do very well. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit before I come back and fix it. All right. I'm always curious about the people who, you know, they curl and they fix their hair every day. Even when I was working, I did not really fix my hair every day. I wore it naturally curly a lot. Yeah, I'm having issues with this top part. Yeah, so again, you're gonna have to, if your hair catches like that, you're gonna have to loosen the clamp part. Alright, so now it's cooled off a little. I'm going to go back and get that one piece of hair. Comb through it. I always, like I said, I always struggle with this top part. And I'm not going to leave the curling iron on it as long as since I've already ran it through one time. Alright. Now I'm getting to the crown of my hair, so I'm going to pick a little bit up and do it backwards. And this part can be challenging because you have to pull it straight up instead of going backwards. So and like I said, if you want a little bit of a different look, you could leave about that much of the ends out, and it would give you more kind of like a wild, kind of beachy look, I think. Yeah, that. And sometimes, you know, I just don't have a great hair day. It just doesn't turn out as well as I want it to, so sometimes that happens, and oopsie. Sometimes that happens and it's okay, and you can't get upset about it. You know, it's like any other hair day. You have good hair days and you have bad hair days. Yeah. Oh well. Alright, so then I'm just going to do the very front part of my bangs. I'm going to do that all together. What I really want to do with this is just make sure that I'm smoothing out that frizz, because my hair is frizzy. Just hold it for a second. Your bangs you don't want to hold very long, because it'll look funny. Alright. So I'm going to do this little piece over. I don't love the way that it looks. I still don't love it. That's what I'm going to leave it. And make sure I haven't missed anything. So that's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to spray it with the hairspray. A little bit of the shine spray. You can see my hair has been falling out. Now, normally what I would do is I would go do my makeup and just let the curls sit for a while, and that is what I recommend that you do if you have time to do it. For the sake of this video, and because I don't know how to edit, I am just gonna go ahead and deal with it. So I'm going to grab a couple of bobby pins. And a little bit of some pomade. And again, this is my husband's and it's what he uses, so I use what's on what we have on hand. This is a styling cream by Paul Mitch. Clean cut, medium hold, semi-matte styling cream, but you could use any pomade. And I'm just gonna kind of run my fingers through my hair. You can flip your hair over and do it that way if you want. Sometimes I do it that way. Then you can tease it if you want to. I don't really have the right comb for teasing, but. And then smooth it out. And then I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, I usually end up pulling my bangs back just because I don't love my hair being in my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And when I'm using bobby pins, I just make sure that I create an X shape to make sure that it holds. All right. Now for the fun part. So I'm going to take a little bit of the styling cream. Again, you use more or less depending on how thick or thin your hair is, how fine it is. I got a little bit too much. Okay, I'm going to use about that much. Less, I would say like a pea-size amount. I'm going to put it in my palm of my hand and I'm going to add a small pump of the oil to it. You can use shine drops, you can use anything like that. You just want something that you can mix with the pomade to make it more of a liquidy texture. And when you rub your hands together, it's going to melt. Have a helper. Okay, then I'm going to go through my hair and I'm just going to use my fingers to go through it and to scrunch it. You can see how much bigger my hair becomes.
Mom, you're funny.
You think so?
Yes.
I think you're funny. And just use your fingers to kind of work through anything that you don't like. Look at this one. Whatever. I try not to overthink it too much. I like for mine to look a little wild. Okay.
Can we do pictures now?
Alright, and now the very last step, I'm just going to spray it. And the good thing about this being a light hold hairspray is that even though it looks like I'm using a lot of hairspray, I still can run my fingers through my hair. So, there you have it. There are the curls. There's the back. And let me know if you have any questions or if I can help you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check on the blog at www.ticklepeach.com.